Hey guys, I am the Interceptor and we're here with another war video. Today this is going to be war number 10 of season 22 and D69 is taking on BRJP. These guys are well known for being in Masters. They've been in Masters for a while, so we know that this will be a close war, but we think that we can beat them. I have got another thing boss today, so whenever I take the bosses, I never have too many fights in my wars, so this war is only going to have 6 fights, unfortunately, which is like way below my average. I think my average is like 8, but yes. They placed with Stubborn, so the last thing boss I fought had Protect, which is significantly harder than Stubborn. It's way harder. So this is actually like a little bit of a relief, but I still do know that it is an extremely testing fight and it's going to be very difficult. Now I do have a 6-star rank 3 Killmonger, but he's currently on defense, as I have the only 6-star rank 3 in my battle group currently. But we're taking in, so we have to bring in the 4-star Killmonger for the synergy. And then we're bringing Void for the boss, as well as Warlock, who is the champ I'm going to use for every single one of my fights up to the boss, except for one. So we're going Path 1, Section 1. I was the one that made for this war, so I knew what I was putting myself into, what I was going into, what I was making myself go into. I don't know. Yeah, we got a Voodoo on this first node, and you can't Quake. Well, you can Quake this node because he's not defensive, but Quaking holding heavy at the start does not prevent the regen from activating. So the plan here is to just play around with him until his regeneration falls off, which is about to happen right here, but I think I eat an L1. No, I must eat an L1 later in the fight. But yeah, this is really just not that hard. I was testing if this person had willpower also, because there was someone going into one of this guy's champs with a Warlock later on. And he's now fully unblockable again. So right here, I'm going to dash in. And I guess I was too slow dashing back right there. So that's unfortunate. But luckily he gives me an opening there. And because of Brother Daniel, he actually has a guaranteed chance to turn all Loas or buffs into poisons. And he just happened to get one Loa on the first hit that hit me. So unfortunately, we're going to lose a decent amount of health, but that still wouldn't have killed me. I would have been fine even if that poison had expired. So 50 hits, not the smoothest fight, but it's also, I only need to heal up Void once this war, so that's alright. Now we'll go for this Killmonger. This is an R3 Killmonger on Masochism, and this is just a bad placement, flat out. Killmonger's just not good on this node, and Warlock is not even a great counter to Killmonger, honestly. But on this node, he's good enough because you don't really need a good counter. So right there, now we've canceled out all regeneration. So when I put the Resonate on, sure, it's going to give him bursts of power because he's Killmonger, but it is also going to, if I can parry, it's also going to... Oh, I didn't get armor break there. But it's also going to be power draining him, so we're completely fine. You see we're taking a decent amount of damage. We've only dealt like a few % more than we've taken at this point. But we had a full L2 have the reverb damage on us. And that was just a decent amount of damage, so... Through another L2 here, that time we actually got the armor breaks. The reason it was prevented the first time was due to Masochism. And also with Warlock, you can prevent Masochism from activating with the infections on the opponent. So right now I have 4 of them, which means basically 0 defensive ability accuracy. But also the reverberation's not affected by ability accuracy. Right there, I probably should have held my L2 for a little bit and then thrown it later in the cycle, but we're actually completely fine. I'm still at 75. I played this fight basically perfectly. And we're just going to clean up this fight really nicely. So even if he does regenerate from the Masochism, he's actually going to just take some damage because he can't heal when he's infected and he just loses some power. So it's not really a problem. If my Warlock was awakened, he'd also be suffering degeneration damage when that occurs, but that's right. And now we'll go into Section 2. So on the first node, we have Mole Man, and this is Path 1, Section 2, so I take Path 1 both sections, and this is the Vigor node with Indomitable on it. and Mole Man's just not a great placement here. There are a few nodes on the map where he can be a little bit annoying, but he's constantly getting power drained here. And then there are two different ways to bait out Mole Man's L1 while not having Stubborn activate on you. The first way, the most popular way, is what I'm doing here. So I dex the second hit, and what I did the first time, dex the second hit, parry the third. But what the other strategy that I like to do a lot was what I did right there, which is parry the second hit and then go third hit. So on the third hit dex it rather. I'm explaining this horribly, but I hope you know what I mean. We're gonna throw off another L2 here. He gets Vigor right as he gets at 25, so I'm actually completely fine with that, just draining his power. I'm aware that he's going to shrug off debuff, so I'm not trying to punish when I parry by accident. But we're also not really doing much damage. Also, against Mole Man, you want to make sure you're not hitting into his block. Right there, he had too many of the masses, and he actually shrugged off his stun instantly and hit me a few times. But luckily, we're Warlock, who has a ton of health. One more L2 and this fight should be over. But there's the damage getting resisted here, not really doing much. But I believe this next combo is going to do it. Yeah, okay. So there we go. We got 3 crits out of 4, so that's pretty nice. Let's go into this next fight. This one I was a lot less worried about. This is Spider-Gwen. And this is just a god-awful placement for Spider-Gwen. This is a good alliance, but this placement just makes no sense. Why would you put a champion on a path where the best option for this fight is Warlock, but then also place a champion on the first node that you can easily use Warlock for? I don't know. I will never understand the logic some alliances use in their placements, but in this case, I mean, it was so easy to just place someone that you can't use Warlock for here, and they didn't. So, we're going to completely cheese this by doing only parry heavy the entire fight. I believe we're going to chuck off an L2 right here. First hit gets evaded, so she blocks the rest of it, but she's not going to counter us because the AI is moronic. And also, this person has masochism, so whenever we inflict the bleeds or the resonate weakness, we're also going to be power draining her. So it's very, very rare. I don't even know if it happens in this fight that I have to bait out an L1 or something like that. But yeah, I've lost maybe 2% in this fight, and she's at 30%. We're going to throw off another L2 right here. We're not? Okay. Wow, okay. Are we going to go for L3? For the extra regeneration? I probably wouldn't at this point. I'd probably just save it and use a potion, because it removes the infection. 4% left, 3%, and wow, okay, she goes down. That's pretty clean. I mean, Spider-Gwen, ideally you want to put her on a node where either you can't use Venom or you can't use Ghost, just because I'm pretty sure those two champs can take her anywhere on the map that Quake can't. So, yeah, next we're going for this Iron Man Infinity War, and I am taking this with the link up from Path 2, but that's just because using Warlock in this fight, unless you use a special 1 boost, there's just no way to reach your L2, and you don't want to throw off L1 because of Buffet. But I am going to make a few mistakes in this fight that are not pretty, but that's fine. So there, I do get him power locked. We're getting those bleeds on, and the exact same thing that happened to me in the last time I fought this guy on this node. I take an unblockable L1, thinking I can block the first hit, which is just stupid. And there, I was going for a heavy attack. I don't know what I was doing, because what I did when I attacked was clearly not a heavy attack. But whatever. Yeah, I play so badly in war with Warlock, but I never die, and I don't understand it. I actually don't think I've died a single time with Warlock, and I think I've taken him to like 20 out of the 25 wars I've done since I've had him. I don't think I don't think I've died once with him, which is just crazy. He's such an amazing champion. There have been probably 3 or 4 times where I've been under 30% health, but still. We're heavy countering. The fight's going really well here. How can you possibly mess this up, you might ask? Well, just stay tuned. So yeah, we're getting power drain because, of course, if you didn't know the way Warlock's power drain works, he actually has a secondary power drain where any non-contact hit that you well-time block, you actually get. Yeah, I don't know what that was. I should have countered with a heavy. You actually get a little bit of passive power drain as well, which degens if he's awakened, if Warlock's awakened. But there we hit a nice heavy for 11k, and we're just trying to get our reparries here and praying that I don't trigger too many armor ups. But here I notice I'm at 24%, and I'm like, okay, I kind of got a kill here. Or, what's it called? Or Assassin could start making my parries fail. But that fight goes down, and now let's go on to the boss fight. So this is a Thing boss, and I'm using max boost because I bought the Cavalier deal, so I have a ton of boosts. As far as the pre-fight goes, the person that brought Mr. Fantastic for me put on the wrong pre-fight, and I did not realize it until the fight started. Debuff Siphoner is not the one that you want to put into this fight because technically Void's damage over time debuffs do not count towards, like, their passive damage over time. They're not real. So the debuff Siphoner does absolutely nothing. What I wanted to have in this fight is I wanted debuff Siphoner's 1, so he got 1 correct, but the second one he was supposed to apply was the one with the one where it lowers passive power gain, and that's just not what happened. I don't know if he needed it for another fight, but if I could only have had 1, it still would not have been debuff Siphoner. I would have rather had the other one, but that's alright. We're going to go into this fight. The start of the fight's really nice. I take a lot of block damage, but we're going to heal that up, hopefully. We're hitting all our reparries, trying to push him back, and you can already tell in this fight, things just not being quite cooperative enough, but it's not that bad. We lose our Mr. Fantastic debuffs right there, but I've done an entire fight without them, so it's not completely required. Also, you'll notice I didn't have a special 1 boost for this war. I only had an invulnerability boost, and that's because they just didn't come around in the store. And being a magic player and a ghost player primarily, I just did not have the ability to pick them up. It's as simple as that. I used them too much, and none came around to get. So right here, I get an opportunity to push Thing back, which is really nice, and then he chucks off that L1 right away. And the fight's looking great. I mean, I'm at, 92%? I should have got a healing right there. And Thing is going down. I mean, I've got this fight in control. We're hitting all our reparries. I'm going to go in here for a 5-hit combo to push him back. And then right here, we're going to go for a 5-hit combo into an L1. And he's on his own side of the map. So this is about half the duration of what this fight takes. This fight usually takes a little bit under 3.5 minutes. And we're doing fine so far. So right here, I go for a 5-hit combo. I could have gotten medium, light, medium, and then thrown the L1, but I actually like this better. And right here, I'm stuck in the corner, so I've got to do a little bit of a shortened combo and throw the L1. I'm going to go for a heavy attack. I fully evade that one against the corner and counter with my own heavy. And now we need 8 hits, but Void's combo into an L1 is only 7 hits. So right here, unfortunately, he throws off an L1, but I'm going to go double medium, special 2 to try to push him back. And he's just not throwing the L1 very nicely. So there we go. We got another full dex in the corner, and we're going to keep going. Are you going to dash back or throw your special? Any of the above? Nope. You're going to make me continuously dex in my corner? Yes. And we eventually get clipped, unfortunately. And then right there, I knew he was going to come in and throw a heavy, so I had to try for an intercept, or else I would have died. And right there, I try for another intercept, and I just get absolutely just demolished. There's nothing I can do at this point. He's indestructible, and I dex in the corner as much as I can, and I just get out of it. So Or sorry, I don't get out of it, I die. So we're going to go back and we're going to revive Void. But other than missing that one intercept at the very, very end of the fight, I don't think I made any mistakes in that fight. The only difference between the solo and... Like, I have multiple rank 3 6-star thing solos where I've ended at like 80% health. I have them on this channel. But the only difference between this one and that one is the AI on Thing. So I didn't play that bad. I was having a good day with the game. I was playing well. But unfortunately, AI kind of fucks you over sometimes. But there's nothing you can do about that, right? So, yeah, we're going to revive. It's only 25%. There's no way I could possibly die to this. So there we're at 8, so that's the perfect time for blocking and then starting another combo into an L1, which is 7 hits. And then here we're going to hit into his block a little bit just to push him back. We pushed him to just under a bar of power, which is actually perfect. I could have also pushed him to 2 bars. It would have made a huge difference. But right here we're at 9, so we're going to parry. We're going to go in for a 4-hit combo, and then we're going to throw off our L1. And now he's at 15%. The only way I could die right here is if I took a big butt bomb. But we're not going to take a butt bomb in a boss fight. Maybe in like questing or something, but not in war. I know I've seen at least one person who is fighting a thing boss this season die to a butt bomb. So I just like to avoid that if I can. We're pushing him back here. And this is going beautiful. Imagine if the first attempt had gone this well. Imagine if my original had this AI, where Thing is just willing to throw a heavy right as you block. Like, this is beautiful. There's nothing else I can say. This is the way you're supposed to behave, Thing. But there we go. We take that fight down. Very unfortunate that does not count, or like that we pick up a death there. Let's get into the results. So we did end up beating BRJP. It was a close war. We won by exactly 1 death. It was 10-11. And they did well, but unfortunately for them, we didn't die at all in like the last 20 fights, and we did clutch it out. Actually, I think we died once in the last 20 fights, which is including all the bosses. So that was kind of clutch by us. But that is actually going to be the end of the video. Let me just make sure that I show the standings after this war. So after this war, we were sitting in rank 11, which is 14th in the world. But that is going to put us 6-4 on the season, and I have 3 deaths now with a PSR of 72 out of 74, or 97%. I just got it up to 99 last war, putting it right back down to 97. And our Deathless Streak is, of course, going to be reset, but the highest it got to was 23 that time. But that's going to be it for this one. I hope you guys enjoy, and I will see you in the next